I was having trouble starting this video because, it's some pretty tough news to really accept. But Akira Toriyama, thank you so much. Seriously, thank you so much for everything, for impacting my childhood, for impacting my life, honestly, impacting the childhoods and lives of so many others across the world. And I really hope that you realize just how much of an impact and how much of a pull and how much you meant to me and a lot of other people in the world, because your work did so much for so many people, got so many people through so many things, and you inspired like so many others. It's amazing what you did, and seriously, thank you so much. And rest in peace, Akira Toriyama. As I'm sure you know already, but if you don't, somehow, Akira Toriyama passed away on March 1st. We got the news yesterday at the time of this recording. It's March 8th, but we got the news on March 7th that Akira Toriyama passed away due to acute subdural hematoma. And pretty much what that is it's a really severe head injury, and the symptoms of it is almost like a regular headache, except it's obviously not a regular headache, and he had been dealing with that for a long time, apparently. And yeah, man, it's pretty sad stuff. And he died at age 68, which, he spent a good amount of time in this world, but could have spent so much more time, like could have spent way more time. And it really sucks. It really sucks. But I really wanted to make this video to thank Akira Toriyama for so much, for everything, because my life, honestly, isn't the way it is without Dragon Ball. Like, it sounds crazy, but it's really the truth. There's so much in my life that's happened and that's, still around to this day because of Dragon Ball. Like, it's crazy. And I just really wanted to just thank him so much, because it means a lot to me, man. I really love Dragon Ball. I really love Dragon Ball. Like, and if you're a creator talking about this, I shouldn't even have to say this, but don't monetize your videos. That's extremely weird, extremely disrespectful, really strange, and really nasty. And I'm saying this because I've seen some people try and monetize their stuff and try and profit off of someone's death. Like, that's really disrespectful and really strange, and you shouldn't do that at all. Like I said, I shouldn't even have to say it, but the fact that people are out there doing that, you're extremely nasty. Like, don't do that. But back to what I was saying, though. You know what I mean? Like, I have the entire box set of Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. I have all the movies. I have this Trunks figure, this Future Trunks figure, this Bardock figure, Future Trunks' sword. This box set, both of these box sets were gifts from my girlfriend, which I'm very thankful and very grateful to have. I've read the Dragon Ball manga, but to have it physically, I'm really happy and thankful for her for gifting that to me, because Dragon Ball means a lot to me. And this was way before Akira Toriyama's passing, but I'm very glad that I have that now. And I really want to actually reread the series now that I have it physically, to really show love to Akira Toriyama. I own all the Dragon Ball movies thanks to one of my homies who gifted that to me. And my homie gifted me this Future Trunks sword as well. Like, it's crazy, man. And I got these two other Trunks figures right here that are not on screen, but like, got Future Trunks here. Future Trunks is my favorite character in Dragon Ball. Pretty sure I bought that one for myself, but this is another gift from my homie. Like, bro, I love Dragon Ball, man. I love Dragon Ball. I'm obviously, shout out Akira Toriyama again, wearing this Goku shirt. And just also too, all the other works that he's done, Dr. Slump, he's worked on Chrono Trigger, Dragon Quest, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like, like I said, one of the goats, man. One of the goats. His art styles is honestly one of my favorites. Like seriously, it's like one of my favorites, and I'm not even just saying that. Like I've always liked Akira Toriyama's art style. Like always liked how he designed his characters. His paneling has always been really good. One of the best to follow in a manga, and it's just crazy, man. I read both Masashi Kishimoto, who's the mangaka for Naruto, and Eiichiro Oda, who's the mangaka for One Piece. Read both of their messages in response to Toriyama's passing. And those messages were just so felt. Like you could just feel the impact in those messages, and they really hit home and made me teary eyed. I'm not gonna lie, because it's crazy to see the impact that he had on those two great mangakas. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't got One Piece and we don't have Naruto. We don't have a lot of other series. We don't have Bleach. We don't have Yu Yu Hakusho. Yu Yu Hakusho is my favorite series of all time. Yu Yu Hakusho is not even around without Dragon Ball. You know what I mean? Like it's crazy, bro. But I really wanted to look back on all the good that Akira Toriyama's work has done for me in my life. You know what I'm saying? Like my earliest memory of Dragon Ball is Bardock, the father of Goku special. That's like my earliest memory. Maybe I watched Dragon Ball before that, but my earliest memory will always be Bardock, the father of Goku. And I just remember seeing Bardock and thinking he was the coolest character ever. You know what I'm saying? Like, hence why I got that Bardock figure back there. He's my second favorite character. And yeah, man, I remember just the bandana was so sick. The scar, the scouter, like, it had Goku's hair. Like, he was just cool as hell, man. And then one of my favorite, and then not even one of, this is my favorite moment from when I was a kid, and even now, still my favorite moment in all of Dragon Ball, when Future Trunks first pulled up and killed Frieza. Like, we just saw the Namek arc, and Goku was struggling to kill Frieza. And then Trunks comes in and he just kicked him and King Cold's ass like it was nothing. And I remember just being really excited about that. And just like, nah, this is my favorite character. Like, I love this guy. Like, he has a sword. Like, he's mad cool. And yeah, it's those early memories of Dragon Ball will always be my favorite. I remember seeing a lot of the Buu saga as a kid as well, and just really liking the Buu saga a lot. Got to see Gohan grown up. Goku came back for a little bit. Majin Vegeta, Super Saiyan 3 Goku. So many good moments that I remember. Like that arc I actually saw the most as a kid. And then obviously as I got a little older, I was revisiting the other arcs. And just a lot of great memories. Really, a lot of great memories. And I remember finally discovering Dragon Ball GT and losing my mind over it because it looked so good. Like I liked seeing Goku as a kid again because I really liked Kid Goku. I liked Super Saiyan 4 a lot. Still the best Super Saiyan transformation. Like just really like liking GT a lot, but not having a lot of people to talk about this with, because this is at the time where it wasn't really popular to talk about anime. You know what I'm saying? Like it really was not that popular to talk about anime. So I didn't know other people really like Dragon Ball Z the way I did. I remember I was making sure that my mom would pick me up early enough so that I can catch DBZ after school, because I used to be an after school program. And I never used to get home right away, like right after school. So I had to stay in after school program. But I used to like, if I knew, if I would catch a commercial and they would talk about like, oh, like the new Dragon Ball Z episode or Dragon Ball Z's airing at this time, I'm like, Ma, please, like today, can you pick me up like earlier? And I remember just getting picked up and going back home and watching Dragon Ball when I got home. Like, it's crazy, man. And then I remember just again playing the games. I used to play the Budokai games, Tenkaichi games. I remember my cousins and I would play a lot of Budokai 2, a lot of Budokai 3. And then when they got a PlayStation 3, finally, they ended up giving their copies of Budokai 2 and Budokai 3 to me. And I was really happy about that. I wish that I still had those copies with me to this day. But I was already planning on collecting the old Dragon Ball games that I played in my life. But now I want them more than ever, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I remember playing that a lot. And then I remember I was playing another game one day. This is a very vivid memory I have, but I was playing some game on my PS2. It was like, I don't even remember what it was, but I didn't have a memory card at the time. But I remember I kept getting really close to beating the game. I lost my memory card, so I was just like, you know what, I'm going to try and beat this game or whatever. And I remember my dad coming home and said that he had a new game for me. And the game that he brought home was actually Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 2. And I stopped playing whatever game I was playing. I ejected it. I didn't care about it anymore because my dad got me a Dragon Ball Z game. And you know what I'm saying? Got Future Trunks on the cover, was my favorite character. Like, I just ejected the game and I put this one in and I just started playing this the entire night. And I was just really excited about this. Like, and this is still the same copy, by the way. This is still the same copy that I got years ago when this game came out. Like, and just made a lot of memories playing this. And this is still like one of my favorite Dragon Ball Z games. And then after that, you know, I got Tenkaichi 3. When I got on the PS3, Burst Limit, played Raging Blast, played Ultimate Tenkaichi. You know what I'm saying? Like, and even though obviously I had some things to say about Raging Blast and Ultimate Tenkaichi and stuff, it was just still the fact that Dragon Ball Z games were still coming out and stuff, even though the series had been gone for a while. I was just really happy to still play Dragon Ball games. And then, you know, PS4 came around. I finally got a PS4, and one of the games I wanted to get was Dragon Ball Xenoverse 1. And here's my copy still of Dragon Ball Xenoverse 1. And finding out what this game was and that you can create your own character, you can enter the world of Dragon Ball, that was a lot. And even though, again, this game might have not been the greatest, you know, this game had a lot of flaws, I didn't care because it was just really fun to enter the world of Dragon Ball, creating your own character and being able to equip the moves and stuff like that, and just doing parallel quests and playing through the story of Xenoverse 2. It was great, man. It was great. And then obviously Xenoverse 2 comes out a little later, and I played a lot of Xenoverse 2, man. And Xenoverse, like, and that you know, that's how I got introduced to a lot of the content creators that I still watch to this day, some in which I'm cool with even now. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just crazy, man. It's just crazy. And then shout out my girlfriend for this gift as well. She got this for our anniversary years back, but she got me the Budokai HD collection, which I actually didn't own. I actually missed out on this, but I missed out on the Budokai HD collection, and she got this for me, and I'm really happy to have this. You know, I might just hook up my PS3 and play this for the one time. You know, like I'm really happy to have this. And then one of the biggest parts of this whole YouTube channel, a big reason why this YouTube channel even exists, Dragon Ball FighterZ. Dragon Ball FighterZ, probably top 3 favorite video game of all time for me. And, you know, obviously Toriyama created Android 21, who's one of my favorite characters in Dragon Ball now. Like, such a cool design. I like the character a lot. Like, Dragon Ball FighterZ introduced me to a whole lot of people as well. And just, you know, different experiences and getting to travel the world because of this, you know, this video game based on Akira Toriyama's work. Like, like, again, like I said earlier, his pull reaches so far, and I just wish that he knew, or hope that he knew rather, how much of an impact and reach that he had to so many people, you know? Like, a big reason I'm even doing this content creation stuff is because of Dragon Ball FighterZ. Dragon Ball FighterZ was the one and only thing I was ever streaming on my Twitch channel, you know what I'm saying? Like, for a while, I was still playing Dragon Ball Fighters on the Twitch channel, and here on the YouTube, that's all I was uploading for a long time was just Dragon Ball Fighters. So just goes to show just how much I loved Dragon Ball and loved that game that was based on his work. Like, it's crazy because I don't meet and interact with you guys without Dragon Ball. I don't do this content creation both on YouTube and on Twitch without Dragon Ball. And I'm very grateful to have you guys and interact with you guys about so many different things. But a big connection to that is because of Dragon Ball, you know? And, you know, my girlfriend and I, while we met for different reasons and got very close and got together and started dating, you know, and bonded over different things, Dragon Ball ended up being a big addition. And my interest became her interest. And we both got into anime more because of Dragon Ball. Like, it's crazy. My friends that I grew up with and, you know, and I'm still cool with to this day, like, yeah, we got cool for different things, but we all bonded because of Dragon Ball. At least the majority of us bonded because of Dragon Ball. We would talk about the show so much and talk about the games and all that other stuff. And we got closer because of Dragon Ball. That was a big, you know, factor. Like, nah, it's not the only factor, but it's one of the biggest ones, you know? And I've gotten to meet so many more people because of Dragon Ball. So many people that I would consider close friends now, you know, is because of that connection to Dragon Ball. And so many of my favorite creators that I came across here on YouTube is because of Dragon Ball. Like, you know, Lotus Hasakura, Omega Pro, C-Reacts, Rhyme Style, Afro Senju, the list goes on. So many different people, so many different creators that I came across because of Dragon Ball. And I'm fortunate enough to be cool with some of those creators now. Like, I'm very fortunate and very thankful to be cool with them. And we all have that connection because of Dragon Ball. And just very thankful and very grateful to Akira Toriyama for that. Like, seriously. And we got so many other Dragon Ball projects on the way, and one of his other projects as well that, you know, it's going to hit very hard when they drop. You know, Sparking Zero, whenever that comes through, I'm very excited about that. It's going to hit very hard when that game comes out. Dragon Ball Daima, which I've been really excited about since the start because it just screamed Toriyama. Like, you could see that, like, this is going back to his roots and stuff. And I'm gonna like that even more, you know, now that he's gone. And, you know, Sandland was coming out as well, and I wasn't really like all that invested in Sandland, but like, I'm like, oh, it looks cool because, you know, I just really like how Toriyama's work has always looked. Like, it's always looked really well. I've always liked his art style, his paneling. Like, and I'm not even just saying that to say that now. It's just like, no, I've always been a fan of that. Like, it's always looked really nice, and it has that distinct look that you can just always tell that it's Toriyama's work. And yeah, man, I'm gonna check out Sandland, you know what I'm saying, in support of Toriyama. And I'm really excited about Dragon Ball Daima. I've been excited since the start, you know. So, and I'll never forget when Battle of Gods came out. I was really happy about that, and I was finally discussing Battle of Gods with people in school, you know what I'm saying? People were talking about Dragon Ball. I overheard people talking about Dragon Ball. I'm like, oh, y'all like Dragon Ball? I like Dragon Ball too, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was just watching GT like not too long ago, and like, I was really happy to talk about GT with people because, again, I had watched GT so much, but I never really had anybody to talk about it with. But it was really exciting times. And I remember I didn't get to see Battle of Gods for a couple years. I remember I'd seen clips of it because I was searching for clips desperately because I really wanted to watch the movie, but I didn't know it wasn't out in the States at the time. I knew that it was out in Japan eventually, but I remember a few years later, I was finally getting to watch it, and in English too. I remember my girlfriend was asking me what I was doing that one night, and I told her I was watching a Dragon Ball movie. And then I asked her, I'm like, oh, do you want to check it out? And she said, yeah, and she checked it out, and she loved it. And she wanted to check out the rest of the series afterwards, and now she's a big anime fan. And it's just like, we were already bonding over so many other things and becoming closer, but like, you know, the fact that we got to bond over one of my favorite things of my childhood that was back now that I was much older as a teenager and stuff just meant a lot. And now she's a really big anime fan, you know what I'm saying? Like, that stuff means a lot, man. It really does. You know, I was tuning in with her sometimes on her watch of Dragon Ball for the first time, and then watching Dragon Ball Super with her when it was coming out weekly, checking out the Universe 6 versus 7 arc, the Trunks arc, Goku Black, and the Tournament of Power. Like it was just crazy. Us two watching it weekly and talking about it and stuff, and then just talking about it with people on Twitter and shit. Like it's just crazy, man. It's really crazy, and yeah, man. I'm really grateful and thankful that his work was able to create so many memories and was able to bring so many people together. Cause like I said, man, my life is just completely different without Dragon Ball. Like I've met a lot of people outside of Dragon Ball. I've gotten cool with a lot of people outside of Dragon Ball, but a lot of those friendships grew because of Dragon Ball. Like my girlfriend is a perfect example of someone that I met outside of Dragon Ball, and we obviously bonded and got very close to each other. Got together and just spoke about a lot of our interests and stuff. And eventually, I spoke about Dragon Ball, which she already knew about, which goes to show just how much of a reach Dragon Ball had because she even knew about it. And while she wasn't big on it or anything like that, just the fact that I told her about this movie that I'm about to watch, and and she wanted to check it out, and then she checked it out and loved it and wanted to see the series from the beginning, and now it's turned her into a big anime fan. Like that just goes to show, man. Like Dragon Ball is something special, and like I said, my friendships grew because of Dragon Ball. Like I would just talk with friends about Dragon Ball, whether it was moments, arcs, characters, video games. You know what I'm saying? We played a lot of video games together, whether it be the Budokai games, whenever I would have friends from school come randomly and play Dragon Ball. Eventually we started playing Raging Blast, Xenoverse, Fighters, like the list goes on, man. Like the list goes on, and you know, even my girl and I was playing Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. You know what I'm saying? Like we would play and summon together and all that other stuff, and my homies as well. My homies, we would talk about Dokkan, and it's just like it's a bubble popping game with PNGs and stuff like that. But guess what? It was PNGs of our favorite characters because we love Dragon Ball that much. You know what I'm saying? Like we love Dragon Ball that much that we was gonna pop bubbles and watch these cinematics and stuff like that they would add to these games. And yeah, man, it's really crazy. It's really crazy. Like even creators that I came across them because of Dragon Ball because I wanted to check out Raging Blast content, Ultimate Tenkaichi content, Xenoverse content, Fighters content, and even some of them I'm cool with now. You know what I'm saying? Like it's because of Dragon Ball. I mean that connection of Dragon Ball just goes a long way. Like so much is connected because of Dragon Ball. Like so much is inspired by Dragon Ball. So many other things. Like it's just it all is connected to Dragon Ball. And like yeah, like while may have came across some people and met some people, yeah, of course. But like I said, the friendships grew because of that. And I got it's crazy. It's like I sound like a broken record saying how crazy it is, but it's just what else can I say? It's incredible, man. It's incredible. Like I said, just so many other works that he's had. Doctor Slump, Chrono Trigger, or worked on Chrono Trigger, worked on Dragon Quest. Like he's been involved in so much and impacted so much. Like Dragon Ball even still gets referenced in many other series to this day. Like it's crazy, man. And I'm just very, very thankful. And like, when Dragon Ball Super Broly came out, Dragon Ball Super Broly in the theaters, that was truly an experience. Like that was an experience, man. I'm really glad I didn't get to experience Battle of Gods or Resurrection F in theaters, but I got to experience Broly in theaters. That was the first Dragon Ball movie I got to experience in theaters, and that was a great time, man. It was a great time seeing how many people were getting hype about Vegeta going Super Saiyan God, seeing Broly part of the story and stuff like that. Gogeta, it's crazy, man. It's really crazy. Like I'm just really stuck on what to say on on certain points because, like, yeah, man, like, so much has been connected through Dragon Ball and just through his work. Like, it's really crazy. It's really crazy. There's just so much Dragon Ball surrounded in my life, but like at the same time, it's what brought me to certain people, to certain things and stuff like that. It's crazy. Like, but at the end of the day, I'm very grateful. I'm very grateful. Like, it's time to be sad for sure. You know, you grieve how you want to grieve and how you can grieve, but I think being grateful and being thankful and, like, going back celebrating his work and stuff like that, the best thing to do. you know I was spending all of last night just watching clips of my favorite moments from Dragon Ball, watching so many clips, listening to a bunch of the openings, listening to Dragon Soul, Chala, Head Chala, the We Are Angels, the ending for Dragon Ball Z, listening to a lot of the Dragon Ball Z game openings, listening to the Budokai 2, Budokai 3 opening. A lot of great memories, man. A lot of great memories. Very thankful, very grateful. Akira Toriyama, again, you are one of the GOATs. I hope that you realize just how much of an impact your work had, how much pull and reach you had to so many people, how many lives you saved, how many tough times your work got people through. Thank you very much, Akira Toriyama. Thank you very much. I'm forever grateful, forever appreciative, forever thankful for the things that you and your work have done for me. Thank you. And may you rest easy. Rest in peace, Akira Toriyama.